Milo and the Magical Stones. Written and illustrated by Marcus Pfister. In the middle of the sea, there was an island, and on this island lived Milo and the other cliff mice. They loved their island. It provided them with food and shelter and protection from the rough storms that pounded the waves against the cliffs. During the summer, Milo and his friends worked hard gathering food. Sometimes they would take a break from their work and skip flat stones out over the sea. In evenings, the mice would stretch out on the cliff that had been warmed by the sun and watch the stars in the night sky. If it was warm enough, they'd spend the entire night outside telling stories, enjoying the mild summer air. But when the first winter storms arrived, the mice would spend most of the time huddled in their dark, damp caves, dreaming of light and warmth. After one of these storms, Milo crept out of his cave looking for food. He poked his nose curiously in every crevice. Then, in a particularly deep crevice, he saw something extraordinary. A strange glowing stone. Using a long stick, he carefully pried it out and carried it back to his cave. Milo was amazed to see that not only the darker it got, the more brightly the stone glowed, and not only did it provide light, it also gave off a comforting warmth. Happily, Milo curled up in the corner of his cave with the treasure, but he was not alone for long, because the bright light soon attracted the other mice. Everyone wanted a stone of his own, and they asked Milo to show them where he had found his. But just as they were about to get off, wise Balthazar stood up and spoke. "Don't forget," he said, "the stones belong to the island. If you take something from the island, you must give something in return." This is where we're going to read the top part, the happy ending, and then we're going to read the bottom part next. "Balthazar is right," said Milo. But what could Milo give to the island? He thought about it for many days until he had an idea. He went down to the shore where the sea washed up all kinds of stones and looked for one that was about the same size that he had taken. As he sat down and started chipping away at the stone, curious, the other mice gathered around. Milo worked for hours until he had a beautiful sun into the stone. Then Milo led his friends to the hidden crevice in the mountain, and the carved stone to the place where he had found the glowing stone. Then the other mice began digging. Directly below the crevice, they found a tunnel that ran deep into the mountain. Further in the mountain they went, the more glowing stone they found. Each mouse took one and carried it home. Then, like Milo, they found ordinary stones along the shore and started to decorate them. Some mice carved, etched, or drew on their stones. Others wrapped them or decorated them with flowers, leaves, or roots. They created beautiful works of art, then carried them deep into the mountain and placed their gifts where they had found the glowing stones. The mice were consumed with... No, not at that page. From then on, the windy winter did not bother the mice, who snuggled happily in their bright, warm caves. Often they got together and told stories, just like they did in the summertime. These gatherings made the long, cold nights shorter and the winter less damp and dark. Every year the mice celebrated the beginning of winter. They met in Balthazar's cave and danced and sang. When it got dark, they put the magical stones on the parade along the cliff as a special tribute to their beloved island. And now for the second page, the sad ending. Only Milo heeded Balthazar's warning. He immediately began thinking about what gift he could give to the island, but the other mice hurried off to find the glowing stones. They squeezed into the tunnel and started digging wildly. Using the sharp rocks, they chipped away at the walls of the tunnel. They tossed smaller stones aside. They only wanted the biggest ones. The mice dragged the glowing stones into their caves. They grew greedy and jealous, and spent so much time worried about who had the most storage they couldn't even enjoy the comforts the stones brought to them. Milo watched his friend sadly. He worried about what Balthazar had said, and wondered what would happen. He sighed. There was nothing he could do but get to work on the gift he had thought to give to the island. Only Milo heeded Balthazar's Nope. Soon the mice decided that they needed more of the magical stones. They crept back into the tunnel and dug day and night, piling magical stones in and around their caves, till the whole island glowed. They boasted about their stones that argued who had the most, the biggest, the brightest. The mice were consumed with greed, and as they dug deeper and deeper, the walls of the mountain got thinner and thinner. Before long, the mountain was hollowed out completely. Suddenly, with a thunderous roar, the mountain collapsed. Giant boulders fell, burying the tunnels in a heap of rubble. Waves pounded against the shore, flooding most of the island. There was only one mice left. There was only one cave left. Inside, Milo and Balthazar crouched trembling in the corner. The stones could have brought such happiness, Balthazar said as he spoke. Milo went back to work, carving a stone to give to the island in thanks for its magical gift. And that's the end.